we're live.
Yay!
Hello, everybody. How's everyone doing today? I'm extremely tired.
That feels right in my soul.
Yeah. So today's special guest is Rachel Moore. She is the author of The Book of Fades, which is coming out next year in the fall, right?
Yes, fall of 2023, which feels both way too soon and so far away.
Literally, yeah. I'm so excited for it. I'm gonna wait until we got 5 people here. I can start talking.
Hello, guys.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you our first question, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about yourself and your book.
Okay. I have not practiced my elevator pitch, so we're all along for the ride this time.
It's gonna be great.
I am Rachel Moore, and I'm the author of The Book of Fades, which, like we established, is coming out next fall with Catherine Teagan Books, which is an imprint of HarperCollins. It is a young adult paranormal rom-com that is heartfelt and haunting, but also like so silly.
So silly.
I feel like I can't accurately express how like goofy this book is, even though it's like, in my opinion, I mean, I cried writing it, right? So I think it's like deeply moving. And also there are like so many hijinks. So it sort of rides that line between a book that is definitely a ghost story and also one that is like any like 2000s teen rom-com.
That's like the perfect description. Absolutely. It's so goofy, it's so silly, but it is so heartfelt. And your characters are amazing. Like
I think
your writing is great. Everything's great.
And Brittany, I know you have read it a couple times now because you read it when we were in Author Mentor Match together, and then recently after I'd done some edits with my editor. And anytime you're like, oh, I was like legitimately scared here. I was like, wow, this is a huge compliment because I'm a massive weenie.
Oh no, it's so good. Like the revisions that you did, like I didn't know that the book could get any better, and then it did. Like it's so good.
Thank you.
We do love hijinks, don't we?
We really
do. Kate. We love Kate too.
So true.
It is literally so good. Like I don't think the world is quite ready to read your book yet. Like I truly believe that it's going to take the world by storm, and I'm not just saying that because we're friends. Like I truly believe that.
I really hope people enjoy reading it as much as I've really liked writing it. It has been like so cathartic to write my main character Este's story. She is like a spitfire and also nothing like me, but also very like me. And so it feels like free therapy to get to write this book and tell her story.
Also, I'm going to tell you that for the longest time, I thought her name was pronounced Este.
Look, no. I don't care is the secret. I don't care. You can say her name however you want.
Like, I literally did not find out until you sent us, like, a video in our group chat of you, like, talking about your book, and I was like, it's Este?
Well, I think that Este Heim says her name, Este, and she's in the Taylor Swift song, so obviously, like, she's got rights to her own name. I was just vibing out by myself. I don't know anybody named Este, but...
It's cute either way. Oh, we've got so many friends here. Hi, Barb. Oh,
so
Estee Lauder. She brings up some good points there. I feel like we all pronounced it Esty until you sent that video.
And that's so fair of you guys. I mean, I simply was just guessing. And perhaps I guessed wrong, but now I'm committed to the bit, you know? It's like it's too late for me to go back.
It's too late. Okay, so the next question is, what are you working on right now?
Well, the complicated answer.
Why was that so funny? The pause after the well.
I received my copy edits from my editor a week and a half ago, right before the HarperCollins union actually went on strike. So I'm sort of sitting on those. I want to make sure that I respect the union and I don't like cross the picket line. So I'm working on my copy edits. Those are due back next week. And that's exciting because that means I'm like one step closer to pass pages, one step closer to advanced reader copies.
You're getting ARCs? Sorry.
I'm not getting physical ones, but
damn.
I don't, it's still like my book.
Yeah, I was so excited too to get like a physical ARC. Damn.
I feel like it's going to make receiving my author copies feel like that much more, exciting.
Special, yeah.
I'm also working on outlining / I woke up this morning and decided to start drafting the second book in my 2-book deal and then proceeded to write exactly 0 words. So that's going especially well.
Love that. What's your next project about?
It has not been announced yet, so it is a secret, but
we love secrets here.
It's very much in the same like magical young adult rom-com, ample hijinks. Kate will love it. I think it'll be really fun to write, but it's also definitely like not set in a library, and suddenly I don't know how to write anything else.
Oh, your library setting is so good. I was gonna dress up like a librarian today, and then I was like, nah, it's a sweatshirt kind of day.
Honestly, Estee wears crew necks half the book, so it's very appropriate. We're just cosplaying as Estee Logano.
You know what? I love that. That's my goal in life. Jenna's here.
Hello. Honestly, yes.
Truly, like every time I read your book.
Oh, we've got a special kind of frozen Brittany happening. Well, Brittany, when you come back, I love your nails. Those are incredible. Barb, when I watched your live stream with Brittany, I definitely felt the like, well, it's a book that takes place at some point in time, and they do some things. We're not sure what, but they do them. That's how I felt. I feel like I have so much control. Oh, you're back. Oh, okay.
I did warn you this was going to happen.
I was about to start clicking buttons.
Yeah, hi, Alex.
Oh, I thought she was so like thoughtful and pensive for a second, but instead.
This is hurting my soul. Like, I don't know why my Wi-Fi is so bad.
It feels like it gave you a freeze tag. I kind of like
That's accurate. I hate it. It's so stressful, and like I don't understand why it's so bad. Yeah. Please, Kate. I feel like you would win in this fight. I feel like this is what I've been waiting for, is Kate to fight my Wi-Fi. It's all come down to this moment, I feel. Okay. I'm gonna ask you one more question, and then I think we should get into our first sprint. So have you participated in NaNoWRIMO? What? Okay. Yep. Have you participated in NaNoWRIMO before, and have you won?
I have participated. I started doing NaNoWRIMO when I was in high school. I used to watch Lex Croucher make NaNoWRIMO videos, and she's the author of Reputation, which came out, I think, last year, maybe 2 years ago. But no, I have never in my life written 50,000 words in a month. I am amazed that you do it so often, Brittany.
Oh, it's my favorite thing to do, simultaneously while also being my least favorite thing in the world.
I'm absolutely astounded by it. When I sit down to write, it's the kind of thing that I write really, really slowly. So it takes me like 3 or 4 months to get a draft down. The most I've ever written was actually during Camp NaNoWRIMO. So if we count that, I did at one point write 40,000 words in a month. But
that's great. It's close.
Just that far off.
just a little bit. You know, I love NaNoWRIMO. I hate drafting, and so doing NaNoWRIMO is like my way to like draft as quickly as possible so that I don't have to think about it anymore and I can move on to something else. Like, I feel like I would hate drafting so much more if I didn't do NaNoWRIMO. And that's saying something because I absolutely despise drafting. So
wow.
Yeah, I'm hella struggling right now. Like my draft is basically done and I'm at 45K. So like I'm scrambling to find more places to put words to hit that 50K, and it's not fun. Hello.
Oh my gosh, hello everybody.
That is the
Mimi.
funniest thing. That is so funny. It did have to be done. It did. You had to be here.
Honestly, I feel honored.
Okay, so I think we should do our first sprint. So I'm gonna share my screen with a timer. Hopefully my Wi-Fi does not cut out during this, because that would not be fun, because I will not be aware of it. I'll be too in the writing mode. Okay. Okay, and start. Okay, sprint is over. How did everybody do during that? I'm not gonna lie, I was getting caught up in the comments and reading those more than I was actually writing.
I hear we're getting cheese boards.
Yeah, it looks like a fun time in here. I feel like I missed out.
Phoebe's stealing prosciutto, the usual. I actually want it on record. Let me do some brief arithmetic. I wrote 200 words, which is quite good for 15 minutes in the Rachel verse.
Amazing. I wrote 289, so we're about the same there. Normally I can write a bit more, but like I said, I'm like having to reread everything and trying to find places to fit in like an odd word here or there. It's not fun. I thought these were really funny.
I didn't know what I would work on today when we hopped on. I thought I would just like let the moment move me, and ended up opening the draft for an adult book I started working on in March. So I don't know, maybe it's time for my adult romantic thriller era.
I think it is, honestly. Fade's fan fiction sounds like everything I need in this world. I need to know what kind of fan fiction this is. Who does it focus on? What's going on? I need to know. Did you ever write fan fiction?
Yes. Yes, I did.
What was it for?
Did my childhood best friend and I co-author self-insert One Direction fan fiction when we were in high school? Yes. Yes, we did.
Absolutely. You know what? I did the same thing, but by myself.
My fake name was Reagan.
Oh, so fantastic. I actually like used to have a One Direction like fan Instagram, and I would post like imagines on there constantly.
With everybody going back to Tumblr, I am both like mortified and intrigued by the thought that my fanfiction Tumblrs are still out there somewhere.
Oh no. I literally have like a notebook where I would like draft out the fan fiction that I would post on Instagram, and I still have it. I think it's like under my bed or something.
That's really cute.
It's got like One Direction stickers all over it.
I love that.
I also wrote Junie B. Jones fan fiction, which I think I discussed on a different live show, but yeah.
Oh, wait, that's amazing. My mom cried when the author of Junie B. Jones passed away. She was devastated.
But yeah, like I literally like I had one of the like extra, like I used that to create a cover in one of my notebooks, and I basically just took all of my favorite parts of each of the books and just made like a hybrid like book in my notebook.
I love it.
I stay fan fiction rise up. I noticed this when she first joined, that it was not under her pen name, and I was like, do I say Barb or do I think how do I do this? Just a stranger being overly familiar. You know what? I would pay to read Mateo fanfic. I'm not gonna lie.
I think that's my job, which is actually very nice. 246 words is very good for a 15-minute sprint. I feel like I'm just in the void every time Brittany freezes. Is this what it was like in Interstellar? I have not actually seen Interstellar. Thank you, Alyssa! I did my makeup particularly for this. I wanted to match my sweater. I actually find it kind of difficult to think of revising as, no, okay, wait, sorry, I can't watch Interstellar. Like, I have to watch movies that will make me laugh and not cry.
I truly think this Wi-Fi will be the death of me.
I was just monologuing about how I find it really hard to think of revising as like fan fiction because then I like psych myself out and I like have to like be like, no, you're in charge.
Hello. Ah, there's the cheese board comment. It started a whole discussion. That's so funny. Like, just talking about meats and cheese.
We were supposed to be writing, you guys. One of you better be writing a book about a charcuterie board.
It's research. Like, it's a whole conversation. Alyssa's here. This is my friend Alyssa. She loves you.
I can't believe that I've known you and Alyssa since 2018. I was actually thinking that I joined Book Twitter in 2018 because of a NaNoWRIMO writing live stream. It feels very full circle.
Cute. No, Alyssa's obsessed with you. Like, every time we chat, she's like, I love Rachel. She's so excited for your book. She's so jealous that I've read it, and I'm like, sorry.
One day soon, I'll have advanced reader copies. One day.
I'm so excited. Okay. 489 words.
That's really good.
2 words. Maybe it's
and it was cured meats.
Yeah, exactly. Red page. Nice. 1 sentence. 7 different times.
Yeah.
I love that. Spent a lot of time thinking about cheese. Barb wrote 7. 189. I've never been so behind on comments before. People are really excited that you're here, I think.
I'm excited that I'm here, so I'm glad the feeling's mutual.
The panic in your eyes? For what? Is that when I like my Wi-Fi?
Probably froze.
Probably.
Or maybe that was when you asked if I wrote fan fiction and I had to come to terms with the ghosts of my past.
I think so, because the next comment is Alyssa saying yes, I did. My fanfic, Mateo is the ghost of Christmas Past and Estee Scrooge. I need to read that.
It does track.
Phoebe, I need you to write that and send it to me ASAP and just in time for Christmas. I need it. I read Book of Fate. Oh yeah, Book of Fates. I read the Book of Fates for like the October spooky vibes, and now I need the fanfic for the Christmas vibes. The panic in my eyes in that moment just then.
One day I'll get to announce my new title, and then it's over for everybody.
I literally have a sticky note of the Book of Fates that I don't forget. Yeah, I feel like every writer has written fanfic. Mine is like the low end of the spectrum. Like I didn't like do Wattpad or anything. I just like posted on Instagram, and I had like a daily story that I would like post parts for on Instagram.
That's really cute. This is like a deep cut, but my first experience sharing writing online was through a forum called Virtual Magic Kingdom, because they had like a game and then they had like a forum for it.
Amazing.
And then it was just me in like 5th grade and a bunch of other people who played like fake Disney World online.
That sounds like the best thing in this like world. I love that. There used to be this website, and I can't remember what it's called, but like I used to post stories on there, and I think it was like kind of like Wattpad, but not like Wattpad. And I literally cannot remember the name of it for the life of me, but I used to post writing on there a lot. It was bad. I'm glad I don't know what it's called, because that means I can't go look it up, because I don't want to know what it looks like.
It doesn't belong to you anymore, you know?
It really doesn't. Mine was definitely a self-insert where I was dating Niall, like 100%. I'm pretty sure I didn't even like hide it. Like I'm pretty sure it was just like Brittany dating Niall.
I was also dating Niall, so you have superior taste.
I think so. I mean, I still have a cardboard cutout of him in my room, not gonna lie. I'm an adult. Love. not it being popular. I love that.
I actually love that. That's amazing.
246. Oh, so what's Darren Criss? Like, who is Darren Criss?
Oh, well, he went to the University of Michigan and was a part of Star Kid, which made like several popular like parody musicals that they put on YouTube. And then he was on Glee.
Okay.
And then that was like the...
I knew the name was familiar, so that makes sense. Aw, her makeup is very cute, Alyssa. I agree.
Oh, nice.
Like, you're just... The first thing I said to her when we hopped on was that you look so cute today. Ooh. I don't know if she's genuinely asking, but how do you come up with your story ideas?
Well, the way I come up with the Book of Fades was because I tried to write the book that I'm now trying to write as my second book, and Mateo was supposed to be a tour guide, and then he like got a life of his own because, and this is gonna sound morbid, but like my grandma had passed away that summer, and then I was like, we should deal with grief by writing about it and not by talking about it. So then he turned into this Vermont boarding school boy and is the love of my life. But beyond that, I just always keep a notes app of any random thing. Like, I think I wrote in there, the other day I wrote the phrase, the Millennial Falcon. We have to decide what that's about. Because I don't know yet, but maybe one day I will.
Amazing. Also, I love how you said Mateo is the love of your life, as you literally have a framed picture of you and your husband behind you.
I did get married last month, but I feel like he'll understand.
You know what? I feel like he would too. Yeah, I love you too so much. You're so cute. You cannot read for legal reasons.
Yeah, I support fan fiction of the Book of Fades. That's y'all's business, not mine.
Oh my god, I did not know that about you, Alyssa. Unless I did and I just forgot, but I feel like I did not know that about you, but I love it. Okay, did any of us not date Niall in our dreams? That's the real question. Everyone's all about Harry Styles, but I think we're all Niall girlies here.
That's too funny. I actually went to Niall's hometown when I was
no, you didn't.
like abroad, because why miss that possibility, you know?
How, like, was it fun?
It was
very everything. Mullingar, amazing. Niall is my everything in this world. I love him so much. That's what you missed on Glee. I don't know why that's so funny to me.
That's a little creepy of me.
Okay, she was genuinely asking. Nice. I too was a Niall girl. I knew it. Okay, but we do have a Zayn girly.
That's fair. I watched This Is Us and it kind of changed me.
Yeah.
Every time Britt freezes, I think it's a dramatic pause. Like, I think she's really just doing it for emphasis.
I'm just singing to myself about my I hope none of you actually caught any of that. Anyways. Yep. Yeah, unfortunately. It's a bad time to be a Zayn girly. It was... How did everybody react? I love how we're just talking about One Direction now, but how did everybody react when Zayn left? Because I reacted like a family member had passed away. I'm not gonna lie.
I wish I remembered, but like I don't recall moments like that. I think I just black out and then...
You know how everyone talks about like, oh, like I remember where I was for 9/11, or like, you know, Zayn Malik leading One Direction is like my equivalent of like, I remember this so clearly. I'm not comparing it to 9/11, by the way. I'm just like, 3 actually.
Maybe not, Brittany.
No. Just like the remembering in like vivid detail of like exactly where you were. Okay, I'm gonna get into this because I really don't want to write. So I was walking home from school. Okay, like it happened while I was in school, but I was none the wiser. I had no idea. So I'm walking home from school, and I'm walking home with my friend, and she's like, "Did you hear Zayn left One Direction?" And she's saying this as we're like walking into a 7-Eleven, and I was like, "No, he didn't." I was like, "What do you mean?" It's like, Zayn didn't leave One Direction. You're lying. So then she's like, "No, like I thought he did. I thought I read that online." And I was like, "No, like, he didn't leave One Direction." So like I panic walked home. Okay, pulled out my laptop. I saw their post on Facebook. Immediate sobs. Okay, it was very dramatic. I was like retching, like it was not fun. My mom comes home and I'm like, I run to the kitchen and she's like, "Who the fuck died?" Excuse my language, but who died? And I was like, "Zayn left One Direction." And I was just sobbing and then like literally crying the whole day. I probably watched like the One Direction movie and like a million other things. And then school the next day was the worst. It was not fun because all the boys were making fun of the girls who were upset about Zayn leaving. And I was like, "You don't understand. You don't get it."
Honestly, the real question here is, when are you going to write a pop star book?
I already did.
You're like,
I've been there.
Nice for later.
I wrote it in July. Is it any good? No. But yeah, it's there. It exists. Niall and Harry, you know what? That's fair. That's fair. My ranking is Niall, Louis, Harry, and then like during the band days, Liam and Zayn were kind of always interchangeable for me. It just kind of depended on my mood. But those first 3 were always like solidified, and it's still the same. I have not changed since I was 12. It's the same. Oh, you watched them on the X Factor? I did not know what the X Factor was until One Direction. And I like followed them after it was like already done. So Joe Jonas, fair. We love him. Not you not being into One Direction. I might need to put you in a timeout. Just kidding. 5 Sauce Girly. I'm in my 5 Sauce era right now, not gonna lie. I saw them in concert back in June, I think, and they were so good. Luke Hemmings is my man.
We share a birthday.
I was gonna say I'm jealous, but like my birthday's on One Direction's anniversary, so like I'm pretty happy with mine.
Oh.
See, I was never into.
That's actually such a funny typo. I'm sorry.
I didn't even realize it until I clicked on it.
Skylar Arndt's next book, Bug Time Rush. I actually did love Big Time Rush quite a lot.
That was painful. It's not like I left my 5 Sauce era. It's just that I wasn't like keeping up with their music as like avidly as like when I was like 14. Do you listen to 5 Sauce, Rachel?
I do. I met them once.
Stop it. You didn't.
Well, I saw them twice because I used to work at a music studio when I lived in Los Angeles. But in my younger days, I ran into them while they were ordering sushi and lacked the social skills to know it was inappropriate to ask for a selfie while they were literally just trying to order lunch. So I do have proof and also regrets.
The way you phrased that was just so perfect. I'm so jealous of you. I have never met like a big celebrity unless you count like Boo Boo Stewart, but I wouldn't count him to be like a big celebrity. But I did meet Boo Boo Stewart in the mall because he was doing a signing. Don't know why.
What a cute place to meet Boo Boo Stewart.
Yeah, and like I almost didn't because like we saw him and we were like on our way to Indigo, I think. And my mom's like, "Do you want to go?" And I was like, "No," because I'm like a shy, anxious little kid. And she's like, "No, like I think you should. Like you'll regret it if you don't." And so like during like the early Twilight days. And I was like, okay. So we went and I didn't know what to say. And I was honestly flustered as like a 12-year-old looking at the picture that he had for signings, because you could see his Calvin Klein underwear in it. And he was like shirtless. I was like, hello, sir, I am looking. I'm 12, but I am looking. I'm revealing too much about myself on this live show. This is the things that I do to not write. Yes, we cannot talk about 5 Sauce without Alyssa. I feel bad because I don't know where she is right now, but we'll fill her in later.
The intrigue.
I need to know everything.
I guess we'll find out.
I love that. I would say let's do another sprint, but like you're leaving at 3, right?
That's true. I do have to run.
Yeah.
Also, do we want to sprint?
I don't. I really, truly do not. That's the last thing I want to do. I just realized I have more questions that I wanted to ask you. So let's do that. Okay. What's your favorite NaNoWRIMO memory, if you have one?
I do. But it didn't happen. So for some context.
That was so confusing. And
My favorite memory is that when I was in high school, my best friend wanted to encourage me to continue writing because she knew that I really loved it, but struggle, like I continue to struggle, to actually finish books. And so she bribed me to actually write the 50,000 words by saying she would buy me a milkshake every time I hit another 10,000 words.
Aww.
Which is very sweet of her. And also, I never got a milkshake in high school, but when I hit my first 10,000 words on the first draft of the Book of Fades, which I did write during Camp Nano, she sent me money so I could go buy a milkshake.
It's the cutest story I think I've ever heard.
It was very sweet.
I love that. I love supportive friends. Okay, I'm going to skip a couple of questions because I feel like we've talked about some things already. But what's your greatest NaNoWRIMO or just like in general writing advice?
Ooh.
I feel like you're going to be great at this question. I love hearing you talk about writing, and I could listen to you talk about writing like craft all day long.
I love to talk about writing. The advice that I think I would give for nano / just like drafting is also advice that I often need to hear myself. And it's to get words on the page, because I know that I struggle with perfectionism, which is partially self-fulfilling because I edit as I go, and a lot of people will encourage you not to. But I think that especially in an environment like NaNoWRIMO, where you have like a really strict deadline you're trying to meet, all you really have to do is make sure you're sitting down and you're putting words on the page, and whatever those words end up looking like, they will be worthwhile in the end.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Also, don't pants it, maybe, but that's controversial.
I cannot pants at all. Like, I'm a hardcore plotter. I used to try to like pants my books, and then I would never finish anything. I would get to like 20,000 max, maybe not even, maybe just like 20 pages, whatever that word count equivalent is. And then I'd be like, I don't know what to do from here. And then I'd give up. I mean, also I was trying to write fantasy, and that's not really my genre to write. So maybe that had something to do with it too. You know, I need to outline. Speaking of writing process and listening to you talk about writing process, what is your writing process?
Excellent segue, Brittany.
Thank you. I thought so.
Well, my writing process is really top heavy. I definitely do a lot of outlining and a lot of planning before I start drafting. I think it's because, like you, I think drafting can be really intimidating and like feel like the worst part of the writing journey because it's often the messiest. And I think it feels in the moment the least forgiving. So I try to like delay the drafting part as long as possible. It's why I sat down this morning to start working on book 2 and then panicked and closed the document because I was like, oh, like white page syndrome just has me feeling like I need to have every domino placed exactly so that once I like press go, they just tumble over each other and like I don't have to think about it anymore and it can be on autopilot.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't love drafting, but I do really love writing. And I feel like once you hit the end on something, you get this like confidence boost that allows you to go into revising with like a clear mind. So I definitely like loaded up at the top end. And then like for fades, I ended up doing like a round of revisions on my own after sending to beta readers, which I also think is like a crucial step. But one thing I do, both because I require constant encouragement and because I think it makes my books better, is that I usually work really closely with CPs in the drafting stage because I don't think it's that fun. And I love to get comments on my work to be like, hey, you're doing a good job. Or like, hey, you literally forgot to finish this sentence. Both of which are equally helpful.
I'd say.
So my writing process is kind of all over the place. But if you don't like to draft, I feel like if you can just find somebody you trust and start sending them words, I think it's encouraging to you just to like have somebody on the receiving end so it doesn't feel like you're writing into the void.
Yeah. My favorite days are when you send snippets in the group chat. So
those are my emotional support snippets.
Yeah, and I'm here to shout amazing compliments at you all day long.
For it. What is your writing process like, Brittany?
Oh, I was not expecting to answer a question. Okay.
Sorry.
I mean, I feel like I talk about it a lot on my channel, but I am like a heavy outliner. So like I always start with like a brainstorming like session or like a million brainstorming sessions. And then I outline using Save the Cat. That's my favorite thing in the world. And I write pretty like extensive outlines. Like sometimes I'll even like put dialogue in there or like, you know, like just extensive. Like the outline for this book was like over 11,000 words, which I feel like is pretty extensive, I guess. Yeah. And then drafting. I hate it. I basically throw words at a wall and hope some of it sticks. None of it usually does. And then I do send snippets to the group chat for a little bit of encouragement. And then revising is my favorite part. And I have like a whole video talking about revising because it's like such a big process. But yeah, I love revising. It's my favorite part. Ooh, the 4-act structure. Why do you prefer that method?
Because the fun and games is horrendous. I think it's such a hurdle. I think it does absolutely nothing to prepare writers for what is required. I think it makes a lot of sense for the screenwriters that Blake Snyder originally wrote Save the Cat for. And I think that in Save the Cat Writes a Novel, you know, it does a decent enough job to explain how to navigate the fun and games. But for me and for my books, I find that breaking that second act in half does a world of wonder for making sure that I'm hitting the emotional beats where they need to be hit, which sounds a little violent, but I think it's so effective for making sure that I like stay on track and that there's not just a soggy middle.
Your pacing in your book is so good. Like there's never like a dull moment. Like even when they're like not really doing anything, I'm just like, yes, I'm here for the vibes.
Thank you.
It's only games with my emotions. Okay, so my last question, which I'm excited to hear you talk about, even though I was here for the entire thing, but whatever. What was your publishing journey like? Querying, submission, etc.?
Sure. I think that my publishing journey started like way before I actually started writing books because I did go to school and earned like my bachelor's in creative writing, but was adamant that I was not going to be writing books. I was like, oh yeah, that sounds nice. And packed my bags and moved to Los Angeles and was like, I'm going to be a screenwriter, because I took a screenwriting class in college where we used Save the Cat. And I was like, this is amazing. And lo and behold, I got to Los Angeles, wrote no screenplays, and was like, I really wish I had like more words to tell this story. So I ended up writing the first draft of the Book of Fades in Los Angeles during lockdown. I wrote it from July to October that year. I actually finished my first draft on Halloween, which felt like appropriately spooky, right?
That's the perfect vibes, in my opinion.
Then I did one revision, like I said, on my own, but with beta readers, which was pivotal. I got to add like a lot of fun stuff that is not in any version of the book now, but was like very important to making it legible, because I had never written a book before and had no idea what I was doing. And I wanted to make sure that I had the book prepared to apply for Author Mentor Match. And then I ended up getting accepted for Author Mentor Match in round 8 that next February in 2021, where I worked with Joe Fenning and Serena Kaler, who are brilliant geniuses, and I adore them. And they sat me down and said, hey, bestie, what you wrote is an adult dark fantasy book, and what you're talking about on Twitter is a young adult paranormal rom-com, so maybe we should shake some things up. And that's what we did. They gave me a 7-page edit letter, said, here's what you need to change, and just very politely listed every single thing in my book. And I scrapped it all, and we started over. So I drafted what is now the Book of Fades from March to July-ish. I finished like the 3rd of July because I didn't want to have to do any work on the 4th of July. And it was a rom-com. It far fewer people were actively being killed on page, which was a plus as far as rom-coms go. And then I sent it out to more betas and did another round of revisions. And that finished in August. I sent my first query last August, like the end of the month, like a little bit before the September 1st, like everybody's back from summer, because I'm impatient. Did not have any time to wait around for that. And then 2 weeks after I queried Claire Friedman at Equal Management, she said, hey, do you want to hop on a call? And I was like, yeah, as long as I don't like pass out first.
Oh my God.
And she ended up offering representation, which was really, really cool. And really cool, she says, about having an agent. It was life-changing. And she was like the only agent that I spoke with who I felt like understood my vision for the book, which I think is really important in querying, because you can have an agent, or you can have like an agent who actively encourages and supports like your own goals for your career and your books. And that's what Claire was for me. So she didn't actually have me do any revisions and just sent it out on submission. And I don't know what the math is there, but in February, I found out that, like, of this year, I found out that Sarah Schoenfeld at Catherine Teagan Books was taking it to second reads and to acquisitions, and then got like an email from Claire that had absolutely no body text, just a subject line that said, are you available for a call? And I was like, yeah, absolutely I am. And I found out that we sold the book.
Oh, so exciting.
And that's what you missed on Glee.
That was perfect. I'm literally so excited for everybody to read your book. I feel like a lot of people here have read it. So, but like the general world, I'm excited for them to read it because it's so good.
Thank you so much. I'm very excited as well.
Like, I'm going to scream about it from the rooftops. Like, what I've done with Talk 30 to Me, I will be doing for you. People will get sick of me. That's okay.
The minute I get to put Talk Flirty to Me next to my book on a shelf, I will be complete inside.
It is my dream to have a Drunk Girls in a Bathroom bookshelf. It is my dream. Okay, you have to go, right?
I do have to run, but I'm so thankful that you invited me here today. I know we did not get any real writing done, but those 200 words were really important to me, Brittany.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. I have like no brain cells left in me today. Yeah, thank you so much for joining. I'm so happy to have you here. It's been such a fun time.
Thank you so much. Invite me back sometime.
Oh, of course. Absolutely.
Okay, happy sprinting.
Bye. And then there was just me. I don't know if I want to stay on and do more sprints. I think I might just also leave. I don't know. The writing vibes are not here today. And I feel like nobody else wants to write either, you know? I don't know. I feel like I'm going to regret that because I do need to get writing done today still. I don't know. How are we feeling? Do we want to do another sprint or should I just call it here? I don't know. Also, I just realized you could see my advent calendar in the background. We haven't put it up yet, obviously, because it's not December. But we brought it down with our Christmas decor the other day. Just gonna cover that up. Yeah, so how are we feeling? Do we want to do a sprint or do we just want to call it a night? And I can suffer on my own. I don't know. Tell me what you guys want to do. I don't know if you want to write. I'm thinking I might just end it and just do writing on my own. Yeah, okay. Thank you guys so much for joining. I hope you all had a great time chatting with me and Rachel. I almost said Barb because I was looking at Barb's name in the chat. But with Rachel, I'm so excited for her book. You guys are gonna love it. Yeah. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for joining and I'll see you next week.